You were not meant to be a slave to the grind. You were not meant to trade your life force for money. You can escape gravity. You can unlock your life. You got this. Let's go.
Hello and welcome to Unlock Your Life. I'm your host, Jennings Smith. Extremely grateful that you're here today. Got a great show. I want to talk about growing up. Growing up. What does it mean to grow up, and how is our society structured around that? Has anyone ever told you that you need to grow up? You need to get a real job. You need to quit messing around, and you just need to fall in line, fall in place, do what you're told, and work for somebody else. And before I get too far into the show, I want to preface it with, I don't think that everybody needs to be an entrepreneur. I don't think that everybody needs to or should be working for themselves or trying to do a startup. There's definitely things that I don't want to do. I'm not super intrigued by startups. I'm not intrigued by ground up development deals. I prefer the safety of multifamily. And you could criticize me and say, yeah, there's people that are out there changing the world. They're changing the scapes of cities and doing much bigger and bolder projects than you are, Jennings. And I think that's fine. I think the world needs all different types. And that's not the focus of this show, is to guilt you or tell you that you should be an entrepreneur or that you should start your own business. But the point is to look at, what do you want, right? Because I think a lot of people are saying that they had to grow up or they're growing up, when in reality, they're just giving up. They're not growing up, they're giving up. And my challenge is, can we grow up without giving up? Can we grow up and grow into who we were meant to be, grow into our potential without giving up on our dreams? So when we're kids, we think about what we want to do. We think about what our life is going to look like. We have a picture of it. We're going to maybe do a certain career. Maybe, you wanted to be a fireman or a policeman, or you wanted to be a veterinarian or a doctor, or who knows what you wanted to do. But you had this vision of that and the way your life was going to play out. And the older you got, those dreams maybe became realer, or you had more plans. I know I did. But then the cares of this life, the cares of the world, and the stress and pressures of needing income mostly can start to shake that. And a lot of it is also societal driven. So what do I mean by that? Well, think about when you turn 13, 14, you start getting into high school. Before that, you're just focused on learning the basics, math, how to read, how to write, how to interact with other people. But as you move into high school, it shifts. And it shifts towards, you need to be good at tests. You need to be good at the ACT and the SAT, and you need to be getting good grades. And you need to be towards the top of your class in high school if you want to win, if you want to be successful, right? This is what your teachers are pushing you towards, your guidance counselors, even your parents in a lot of cases. And they want the best for you. They want success for you. And what does success mean in high school? It means pretty much you're going to college. You got enough good grades and you got enough good scores that you are going to college. You got into a good college, and then you start over. What do you do in college? You take more tests. You take more tests and more tests, and maybe you're going to do a master's degree or advanced degree. But even if you're not, you're still, the outcome is so that you can get a good job. This is how colleges rank their successfulness, is how hard is it to get in there. So how hard is it for people that coming from high school to get into our college? And then how much of a placement rate do we have? Like what percentage of our students are getting a quote unquote good job out of college? And the question is that even the right problem that we need to be solving, right? The solution is, oh, you get a good job that makes good money. Well, what about being happy? What about getting a job that you enjoy? What about doing work that is meaningful to you? What about doing stuff that matters? Matters to you, matters to the world. You're improving the world, you're helping the world, you're helping other people. And you feel fulfilled doing that versus just Okay, you won the mousetrap, right? You made it through college, you made it through high school, you got a good job, you make $150,000 a year or whatever it is, and you're miserable. And so what kind of prize is that? Because we're spending the majority of our lives at work and doing work. And if we don't enjoy it, then what are we doing? Why are we winning that game? Why have we built our society around solving that problem versus solving, what is this person good at? What are they creative at? What do they enjoy? How can we unlock who they are? What's going to make them fulfilled? Your job needs to be a calling that allows you to live the life that you want to live. Your job should not be the obstacle that prevents you from living the life that you want to live. Do you understand that? Your job should be a calling, not an obstacle. And for most people, the obstacle is real, right? That job is just a total obstacle. It's a total pain. It's something that they have to deal with so that they can live for the weekends. They can live for the, 5 p.m. beer after they get off work and they're finally done with that hellhole. That's not the way that we need to be living our lives. I mean, the life that I want to live and the job and career and work that I do, I want to structure it around my vision, my goals. So I've wrote down, for example, like I want to be able to live anywhere in the world that I want to live. I want to be able to live and work remotely. So if my job or career does not fit into that, then I'm going to have to do something about it. I want to do work that's exciting and fulfilling to me. So for me, I'm not really into the operational details, the nitty gritty, the engineering type work. I like the kill. I like the thrill of the hunt. I like sales. I like raising capital. I like finding a new deal. I like getting stuff under contract. I want to do more of that. And I want to find complementary partners and other companies and other employees and people to help me support on the stuff that I don't love and am not passionate about. I want to be able to disappear for weeks at a time if I want to. And I know myself, like after a few weeks, I want to get back to my work because my work is important and I enjoy it. But I want to have the option that if I want to go to the Caribbean for a couple of weeks and spend some time down there, then I can. If I want to go to Ohio, where my wife is from, I can spend a few weeks in Ohio and I can work remotely if I need to, or I can take time off if I need to. But I want to be able to disappear and it not have a serious, drastic effect on my income. So how do I build that? How do I solve that problem? Because most of the time it's like, if you stop working within a few weeks, you're going to have a problem, especially if you have a job. But even a lot of businesses are built that way, where if you stop working, you are going to have a serious problem in a few weeks to a month. That pipeline will dry up, that income will dry up. I don't want to build a life like that depends on me always being on that hamster wheel. I like being on the hamster wheel sometimes. I like running on the treadmill. I like to work. I really do. And I think most successful people, they do. But when you are always on that hamster wheel, when you can't get off that hamster wheel, when you never have an option, that's not the life that I want to build. So those are some of the things that big rocks that I'm writing down and building my life around that. And that's totally opposite to the way most society is structured, right? Where they're telling you it doesn't really matter what you want. It just matters that you grow up. Just matters that you check this box. It just matters that you get an A. Just matters that you get a 1300 on your SAT. Just matters that you get into this college. Just matters that you make the grade on the test in college. It just matters that you get placed with the big firm, with the corporation. It just matters that you get the pats on the back from the teachers and the parents and the friends and family that say, this guy, he made it, right? What he's doing makes total sense. I see what he's doing. He's got a stable job. He grew up. He's responsible. He's taking care of his family. He's doing the right thing. And in some cases, that is the right thing. As I stated in the very beginning, a lot of people are very, very happy, very, very fulfilled working for a corporation and being part of a bigger group of people. And I think that that's great. And I think that that's fine, as long as they're very clear on what they want and they made that decision for them. It's when you get forced into this, when you get pushed into this, like 95, 99% of us do, without even thinking, well, what do I want? What would I be good at? What contribution could I make? What problem could I solve? What's going to make me happy? How do I architect and design the life that I want? So if this is you, I want you to stop and say to yourself, did I grow up or did I give up? Because if we've given up on our dreams, if we've stopped pursuing those things that were once important to us, we once wanted to travel the world. We once wanted to have passive income that exceeded our lifestyle needs. We once wanted time freedom and money freedom. And if we've given up on that because we needed to grow up, then we need to ask ourselves, where did that happen? Why did that happen? Why can't I have both? Why can't I do work that I enjoy while also building a life that I want to live and an unlocked life? So that's what I got for you today, guys. Appreciate you enjoying the show. If you do enjoy the show, leave me a review. I'd love for you to pop over to Apple or wherever you're listening. Just leave me a 5-star review. Tell your friends. It means a lot to me, and I read them. I read them a lot, and reach out to me if I can help you. My Facebook group is My First Million in Multifamily, and we teach how to buy and sell multifamily assets, how to raise capital, and that skill also translates into raising capital for businesses, which I'm doing now. It's an extremely active and fun group. So appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you next week. Peace.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.